free trade port and all the different policies and procedures that they have been introducing, particularly when it comes to international foreign talent. So it became a very good location for one of our new schools.
海口哈罗的校址是培养孩子们礼德兼备、中西兼修，设置了英国和中国的教育理念和课程。本期潮起海之南遇见，带你走进首家落户海南的国际知名教育品牌海口哈罗学校，对话校长凯利·威利斯。
随着海南教育国际化的提升，教育开放进入了新的历史发展阶段，教育面貌发生了格局性的改变，越来越多的知名学校落地海南。今天我们来到了海口哈罗学校，遇见了这所学校的校长，我们一起来探索未来教育的无限可能。
Hi, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Harrow Haikou. Shall I show you around?
Yeah, sure.
凯利·威利斯，海口哈罗学校校长，深耕教育领域逾20年。他曾在欧美及亚洲多国任教和执掌教育管理工作，是早期教育和小学教育方面的专家。海口哈罗学校位于海口江东新区，距离海口市中心的车程大约20分钟。校区占地面积约145亩。涵盖幼儿园至高中的全日制及寄宿制学校，可以同时招收外籍人员子女以及中国国籍的孩子们。
Doesn't have to be exactly in the middle. You could just do it. These ones doesn't have to be in the middle. Just use a ruler.
But right now it's being used for an EA, extracurricular activity, and this is the electronics club, and they are building a circuit.
Wow, let's just have a look.
This is an upper school EA, yeah, but Daniel is in the lower of the prep, he's in prep, and then you have some older children in here from higher up in senior school.
So it's an electronic club, so it covers all different group ages who are interested in this subject. They
That's
could
right.
join in,
Yeah.
right?
Daniel, did you get invited to take this
No,
EA, or did you join it?
I joined it on purpose because I've always wanted to make my own machine, and this could help me do that.
Can you show us?
Well, we haven't really started making the machines. That's next.
Oh, okay.
Right now, we're learning how to make printed circuit boards or PCBs. Wow. Right now, they're disinvolving the copper around our circuit board sketch. We're sketching that, and after it's done, maybe we can show you some examples they did last term. Some examples from last term, we have something like this, which they added LED lights too.
So if you were to put that on it,
well, if I were to attach this to an energy source and then
Right.
attach it to this,
Then it would light.
actually start working.
oh. And you have to be really safe, don't you, with some of these
Yep,
things?
else it's gonna be
That's why I've
burnt
got
like this one.
glasses on. That's absolutely. So you wrote this yourself. You wrote this together in your groups and then had to compose how the instruments would sound.
That's right. And this is the premiere of their performance. Premiere means first time. And if this is going to be on TV, people will see it for the first time, maybe in the whole world.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Absolutely.
This is
Your
how you
original
start
song. Yeah.
composing your own songs. This is your team song. We also made individual songs. So what instruments did we use for your own melody? Who remembers? Jadu. Small. And glockenspiels for the melody, and some children use the keyboard and the piano, so depending on their skills.
Yes.
But I think this is important because this is teamwork.
Yeah.
And in music, teamwork is the most important thing because mostly we play as an ensemble. And we have to look at each other to coordinate the tempo, the dynamics, so we develop special relationships.
Yeah, that's not easy to do. It's hard, it can be quite challenging, but I think you're quite a close class, aren't you? You know each other quite well. Yeah.
An excellent
Yes.
The only thing is sometimes it's out.
That's all right. It's supposed to be loud.
哈罗学校设有独特的院设置、丰富的领导力课程、个性化关怀辅导机制和定制化的升学辅导机制。不仅提供给学生们丰富的课堂教学，在这里不得不提的是最具学校教育特色的院设置，就是它将不同年级的学生汇聚在一起，组建成一个大家庭，弱化了班级的概念。
What is this? It's like you're doing paper cutting or something, right?
Yeah, because we have these paintings, so our idea was to do a museum. So in the other room, next door, we are doing our museum. We stick those paintings on the wall and then write some.
Paintings. Is it a painting of Germany?
Yeah, from a Germany artist.
From a German artist. Okay.
We have some famous quotes in German and English, so we stick on the painting. Also on the wall.
Useful. So you're gonna make these are like decorations, right? You're gonna put it on the wall or
On the wall.
Yeah, because like we are doing art for one room and we
art for one room. This room or that room?
next door. Yeah.
Like for what? Like celebrating something or actually?
Yeah, because we're an international day and
Oh.
yeah, so it's next week. So we are preparing for it.
So each house has chosen a country, right? And then what they do with that country is they look at various aspects of it. So last year you looked at the written word, like poetry or films. You looked at traditional dance, traditional clothing, food. So that's what they're kind of looking at the country from the different perspectives.
身为校长的凯利·威利斯，职业生涯横跨中、英、美3国。他在投身教育领域之前，曾攻读戏剧专业，并在辅导儿童戏剧表演的过程中，发掘了对幼儿教育的衷心热爱。那又是什么样的机缘，让他选择海口哈罗学校？来听听他的教育创新理念。
So why Harrow decided to set up a school here in Haikou?
So the reason that the group decided to set up the Harrow Haikou school here was because of the free trade port and all the different policies and procedures that they have been introducing, particularly when it comes to international foreign talent. So it became a very good location for one of our new schools.
Before the Harrow set up the school here, have you ever traveled here in Haikou?
I came down a couple of times before the school was open when it was still under construction, and I did a couple of educational seminars, 2 here in Haikou and 1 down in Sanya.
Back then, how do you feel about this city?
Yeah, I really liked it. Everyone kept telling me, because it's a smaller city and I had been living in Shanghai, that I may not like it, but in actuality, it's still a big city and it's got a lot to offer. And I know as it grows and more international talent come to the island, there'll be more and more opportunities to be part of the community.
What's your expectations to the Hainan Free Trade Port?
My expectations for the Hainan Free Trade Port is to bring over those international foreign talents, because I think that together with Harrow Haikou School and the different companies that will have these talented foreigners in them, working in them, we'll be able to grow as a community. Not only being able to offer places for these children, their families' children to be educated, but also opportunities for the school and our children here, our students, to work with different companies and learn different methods of how these companies work. So I think it's the community building is what I'm the most excited about.
英国哈罗公学被誉为是世界上最负盛名的私立学府之一，有着400多年的历史。作为英式贵族学校的传统，海口哈罗学校设立升学及未来职业规划中心，专门聘请拥有丰富的名校成功申请经验且持有相关专业认证牌照的全职顾问，为学生和家长们提供专属定制的指导和协助。
Do you have any stories behind setting up the school, between you and your team? I mean, there anything you like to talk about?
Yeah, so before the school opened, I built my team starting in October 2019. So by the time leading up to Chinese New Year, I had my team established, and we had started talking about our roles and responsibilities and how we were going to work together. And then COVID hit, and so the most interesting thing about what we had to do was we all scattered around the world. So when I was scheduling meetings to get us all organized and go through all our strategic plans, getting ready for the opening, we had to look at really carefully what time it was in the UK, what time it was in Thailand, what time it was in Taiwan, what time it was in the US, to be able to get everyone together on teams to have those meetings. And we met about 3 times a week. So I think that was an interesting way to open a school, not actually being in the area or being in the room with the people you were working with.
So now, for your team, some of the members, they're from other cities, other schools in China, but most of them are based in Haikou or from other parts of the world or China.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're a real international body of staff. So we've recruited from within China, from different cities, but we've also recruited from the US, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, parts of Europe, and then of course our local hires. Majority of our Chinese colleagues are from this area or the island, but a lot of people did move from different cities within China to come down to Haikou and work for us.
步入校园，海口哈罗学校的校园环境结合了英国哈罗公学建筑中的传统古典风格与海南本地的骑楼特色，利用红砖塑造起了孩子们的校园，为学生提供大量开放的活动休闲空间，鼓励孩子们去探索环境，培养他们的各种户外能力，助力他们的健康成长。
So talking about curriculum, would you like to introduce the Harrow type of curriculum here?
Yeah, so we are fully compliant with the Chinese national curriculum as a bilingual private school. And what we do is we fuse that with some of the other international curriculums to add more to it, or to enhance it, I should say. So we do follow a little bit of the British national curriculum layered on top of the compliant Chinese national curriculum. So all subjects are taught across the board, depending on the types of subjects it needs to be in each grade or each phase. And all of that leads to 2 pathways. If you come in as an international student, you follow a pathway fairly similar until you get into the senior school, and then you'd have your options for GCSEs and A levels. The second pathway on our bilingual school follows very closely along the Chinese national curriculum all the way up to the seniors, with options for IGCs and A levels also. So the outcome will be the same, it just might be slightly mapped differently.
So talking about the curriculum, we just talk about the whole stuff, but how to specifically integrate it with the Chinese culture or Chinese classes here in Harrow?
So the children study a range of Chinese subjects. They have history and geography, morality. They study Chinese, obviously, and language, reading, writing, speaking. And they study calligraphy and hope I haven't forgotten anything, but they have a range of subjects that they study, and those are taught in Chinese. And then they have a range of subjects that are taught in English with a bilingual teacher to support with the language and understanding the content and vocabulary. So for example, in mathematics, art, music, things like that. Our children have quite a lot of lessons. They work very hard, and so they get a real wide range of subjects and a good, deep understanding of each subject.
专访中，凯莉告诉我们，她在很多不同的学校工作过。之所以选择留在哈罗，是因为哈罗的教育理念——全人教育、全面发展，让孩子们在学业上取得成功，进入自己心仪的大学，这非常重要。这也是凯莉一直强调的个性、品格的发展、领导力的发展。
Well, we know that Harrow Haikou covers kindergarten to high school, right? So how do you cultivate the leadership?
We were just talking about this the other day because I have 4 leaders on the team who are taking one of the senior leaders courses, and they have to put a project together. And so they were looking back at our values and our mission statement, and you see the word leadership come up quite a lot. And so they had lots of discussions on what would be a really good project across the whole school to ensure that it's not just a word that sits on a plaque, it's actually something in action. So they're starting with lots of different independent activities in the younger years, because really when you're talking about young children's leadership, it's about becoming independent, it's about controlling your own emotions and being able to interact with other people in the right way. And that builds on itself to when you get to the primary school, where you're looking now at responsibility. What do you do with your independence? How do you behave? How do you support others? How do you ensure you're doing the right thing? And when they start to move up into the upper school prep phase, now they're starting to look at how they can explore their leadership. So instead of just hearing the words or practicing some little activities, they would actually start to explore that. Maybe it's charity work, maybe it's being a house captain or a school prefect, maybe being a sports captain or something like that. And then they can use those opportunities to work on their leadership skills. The other thing is, as they get a little bit older, they start to do a more service. So that's when they take all their leadership skills that they've learned and they start to go out into the community and support others through their leadership skills. So it's very much a stepping stone of growing understanding of leadership across the school.
It sounds like really scientific scheme. You go step by step, so you're going to deeply understand what is leadership. So why leadership is so important to a student to grow?
Well, first it stems from Harrow UK, because that's through their history and tradition, there's been a lot of leaders that have come out of that school. And so it's a very important aspect of what they believe in. And so as a Harrow school ourselves, it's a belief of ours too. But we also know that children, as they grow and go into the workforce and become adults, they need to know how to be in the workforce, and they need to know how to either lead teams, let's say, if they're working on a project, or they need to know how to be led if they're working with a group of people that is someone's got an initiative they want them to work on. And leadership skills isn't just about telling people what to do. There's a whole range of skills within that. It's how you make choices, it's how you listen to other people, it's how you react in certain situations. And so all of those skills are very important for adults, not just in the workplace, but I think in life.
海口哈罗的校址是培养孩子们理德兼备、中西兼修，设置了英国和中国的教育理念和课程。在凯莉看来，中国家长寻找的是一所既能让孩子学习中国的文化、传统、语言，又能让孩子拓展国际视野的学校。这也是他正在实施的理念“根与梦”。他希望让孩子们牢记自己的身份，热爱自己的国家，让他们有能力、有勇气去探索这个世界。
So for now, how many students are here?
We have about 530 students.
So last year, like at the very beginning, how many?
We had just about 350, I think it was.
So this year it grows like 500 or something,
Yeah, over
right?
500, yeah.
Well, is that grows a lot or not?
It is, it's quite fast growth, yeah.
So due to the pandemic, maybe a lot of people they don't have the chance to go to Haikou, they're still wondering if it's a good decision to make to move to Haikou. Maybe sometimes they have to think about they have to make a big decision to do so. And besides, how do you see the future of the Hainan Free Trade Port? Because Hainan, the whole island is building into an international education innovation island.
From my perspective, I think what benefit is going to really be is when a lot more international companies and international foreign talent are here on the island and working in the companies, because they'll have children, a lot of them, and that will benefit the school because we'll then be able to grow our school to fill all the buildings. We have a big campus. So from my perspective, it's when having all that international talent on the island.
So you're waiting for the best moment to come, right?
Yeah.
在自贸港建设新机遇下，海南不仅重视招才引才，同样注重教育发展，先后于北京、香港、上海创校。现在这所世界顶尖私立公学又走进了海口，为海南教育植入优质基因。海南教育领域也注入更多国际化元素。
这里是海南卫视。